items that I either got passed down to me from my mom and dad, or one of them I collected on my own, and I got it from my grandma Grace. But I thought it'd be kind of cool just to look at them, talk about them, and then maybe try to dust some of them off. So that's why I'm going to turn you around here. Let's go. Okay, so the setup isn't perfect. You'll have to forgive me for that. But I've got this old sewing machine. I don't know how old it is. Maybe someone will be able to tell me in the comments, but it is a Liberty. You can kind of see it here. Liberty. And then it says down here, Liberty Deluxe. And I've already tried to film this once. That's why there's an accumulation of dust over here and not over here. It's really gross and dirty. But it's really cool. I love old stuff. I love old stuff. I don't know much about it, but my mom, I think, got it from maybe a garage sale or something in Nebraska back in the day, or maybe she got it from my great grandma Grace or my grandpa. I'm not sure, but anyways, this is the sewing machine. Now I don't know anything about sewing machines. I'm gonna actually soft speak, so you can actually hear me better, because I know it's difficult from behind the phone. Anyways, I don't know much about or anything about sewing machines, but it is a nice piece to just have in my house, and just kind of a piece of not only history, but of like my family's, what do I want to say, my family's history, I guess, tradition, not even tradition, just a history. My grandpa actually still runs a sewing machine business, and he is the GOAT. He's the GOAT. And he's been doing that at least as long as I've been alive. I know some of this you won't be able to see necessarily. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this dust. I mean, I'm obviously going to throw it away. I'll probably just leave it on the table for the time being. That actually is coming off decently well. It's so dirty because, first of all, it's really old. But second, it was in a storage unit for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years in North Carolina. And I've mentioned that storage unit before. We used to live in North Carolina before I joined the military. And my dad couldn't afford to keep it open anymore, the storage unit, which is, understandable. It was like $150 a month. I'm just going to leave that on the table. And so me and my friend, we drove to North Carolina, which is a 4-hour drive here from Athens. And this was one of the things that I was able to retrieve. I really hope I don't remove the paint. So I have to be especially careful on this edge much over here because of the paint that's already chipping. So I'm just gonna do like nice, gentle, aside from me smashing the flywheel. Oh yeah, see, I just chipped some off. Maybe this isn't the best type of towel to be using, a microfiber, but that's what I have. Now I'm not gonna go crazy. I mainly just wanted to get the top layer of dust off and kind of show you and talk about, where this came from and some history with my family, running a sewing machine, a sewing equipment business. I can, this is like extremely heavy, by the way. I don't know if I said that already, but it's like solid cast iron. Here it is from the other side. You can see it still says, of course, Liberty on the top bar is what I'm going to call it. And it's kind of chipping the paint down here. It's old and rusty, so yeah, pretty cool. I think my mom had talked about trying to get this back and running at one point in time, but obviously that never happened. I don't know what I'm doing right now, but this moves over here. This operates, obviously, the needle. I'm not sure if it's just rusted or if there's something. Oh, there we go. You just have to pull the pin out. Does it go back in somewhere? I don't know, but I don't really like touching this thing. It feels gross. Anyways, let's go on to the next item. Okay, so the next item is going to be this porcelain cat. And this cat looks just like our old cat. Her name was Seneca. And I don't know when this was made. I'm not sure. But on the bottom it says 10/5/57. Now, I don't know if that's 105 out of 507. I think that's what it is. I think that's the number 105 out of 513. You can barely see a 3. That's kind of been marked out over time, but this was made in Italy. It is hollow. This was another item I was able to retrieve from the storage unit. And I believe it is an apple, something along the lines of like an apple-faced Siamese. I think that's what our cat was, at least. And it's really nice and smooth on the outside from the glaze. And we literally got it. My mom picked it up from a garage sale because it looked like our cat that we had at the time. She should honestly still be alive, but she got an infection in her kidneys. And it was just, couldn't do anything for her. It was too late. So that was a sad occurrence just a couple years ago, but this might not be the same breed. You can actually see it's cracking I believe the glaze is cracking. There's like stress fractures in the glaze or something all over it. But yeah, I was able to get this and bring it back home in memory of Seneca. So I was very happy about being able to do that. Let me know in the comments. She had very, very, very bright baby blue eyes. I mean, they were just amazing to look at. And her name was Seneca because my dad was looking at getting a new job in Seneca, Kansas at the time for, what was it, that ball bearing SKF is the company's name. And he got the job, but it was an hour commute from Topeka to Seneca. So he was looking at buying a house over there and moving us. And my mom and him went to go look at a house, and there was a little baby kitten in the middle of the road. And they stopped, and my mom, of course, picked her up, and the rest was history. That cat loved my mom everywhere she went, which was not far because she was in a wheelchair, and pretty much confined to the house unless we took her somewhere. But that cat would jump up on her lap and keep her warm. She was an amazing little kitty cat. Yeah. So that's the second item. Sorry, my chair again is really annoying. Here's an item I've shown before, but it's dusty, so I want to dust it off for you. This is my last one of two, and really it's just one because the other bear that I have is literally a baby version of this because it's the cub. And I used to collect these wooden bears, or just bears in general. I used to have some really cool ones. I had one that was half glazed from the head down to about the bottom, the butt of the bear, and it was sitting on its butt, and it was just a really beautiful brown glaze on white clay or porcelain or whatever it is. I don't know the difference, but it's kind of etched out on the bottom here. You can see to give it like a nice different texture, like its fur is a different texture on the bottom. And then the top is smooth, like it just got out of the water or something. So I don't have to use the toothbrush in this one. I'm just gonna do a real quick dusting of the top of it. But yeah, I used to collect these bears back when I was a kid. It was kind of like a hyperfixation, to be honest with you. It's my favorite animal still to this day. Just a brown bear. And they're so cool. They're so strong. And like resilient, tough, protective, defensive, apex predators. But at the same time, they look like you could go give one a hug, and I really would like to one day maybe hold a baby bear that was abandoned by its mother or something like that. And yeah, I imagine I've held a baby lion before in South Africa, and I imagine the fur feels probably close to the same as a baby bear. So that's one of my last bears, sadly. last two items, I think I've shown before, but I'm not sure, are a couple of these painted ponies that my mom used to collect. My mom and my grandma used to collect these painted ponies. And they're really cool. They all have different like themes. This one looks kind of like Starry Night, but obviously it's probably some Native American. Yeah, this is the Native American god of mischief. What is it called? Kokopelli. And this is, I don't even know what number that is, but it's a number. Item number 1508, Kokopelli Pony, artist Joel Nakamura. This is from 2005. And it's actually kind of crazy how much this is bowed. I don't even know how that's possible. Look at how bowed that base is. But my mom used to collect these as a horse girl. I wonder if this is wood. How else would it be so uneven? But it looks really, really cool. You can see it's got the Kokopelli stretched out over here, playing its little song. Kind of looks like the hills, some plains maybe, the sunset, and a bright white star, some stars in the sky, and all these little beads all the way over on the tail, pretty much everywhere except the legs. You can see it's got some on the chest, even on its hindquarters it's got some stars. It reminds me of Starry Night, actually. But yeah, pretty cool piece. And like I said, my mom used to collect these. She had quite a few. And if I remember correctly, they were kind of expensive for what it is. I mean, it's a horse made in China, a little statue made in China. But my family, we lived in Oklahoma. My mom was born and raised in Nebraska. So my dad and my mom both lived in Nebraska. My dad actually played baseball for Omaha, or Bellevue University, that's what it is, in college. I never lived there myself, but I grew up, visiting my grandparents over there. And I love Nebraska, but Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, so we were very Midwestern, Southern family. And yeah, I said Southern. We lived right at the top of Texas. Right at the top of Texas in Southern Oklahoma. It's not like South, but you got people with Southern accents, so I'm calling it Southern. Anyways, here's another, what's it called? Native American branded horse. This looks more like, this looks like what you would find, like kind of like Aztec-y. This is the Tewa horse, 2004 Trail of Painted Ponies. I don't know, maybe Southwestern, Native American. The only reason I say that is because it looks like there's like a building here, and there's mountains, and there's like some mountains in Oklahoma, like Mount Scott I used to go to all the time. But I would imagine this is more southwestern of the United States because of the building structure looking like red clay. But there's also a lot of red clay in Oklahoma, so I don't know. Anyways, you got like a nice handprint the cheek of the pony, the horse. Some more geometric artwork, and this one's pretty cool. It's got, this isn't like part of the horse itself, like it's sculpted in, but it's got these little tassels to make it look like it's, you know, wrapped around the horse's back. Oh, and it's also got feathers that are falling off on the mane. This one has a longer tail than the last one, and it's got some cool art on the top of the tail. And then it looks like a headpiece. But yeah, let's go ahead and dust this one off. This is the last item. I'm gonna be careful not to touch the feathers as much as I can, because they are falling off. That one's already off, so I'm not worried about it. I'm just gonna try to preserve it as much as I can, because it was my mom's. Oops. This kind of request, or not a request, but this kind of video was also kind of inspired because someone had mentioned some more house cleaning stuff, housekeeping stuff. So it's kind of hitting a couple areas at once. I really like this one. I think this one's my favorite. I like the black and white of it and the longer tail, and I like the geometric artwork a little bit more than the crazy. I like the other one too, but I think I like this one more just because it's more pleasing to the eye, in my opinion. But yeah, that's all I have for today's video. I was gonna show you my 110-year-old lantern that I just bought from an antique store. I bought 2 of them, but they're rusty and I really don't like the way it feels on my hands, so I'm not gonna show you that, and it just doesn't make good sounds. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit different. Let me know down in the comments if maybe you'd like to see something similar in the future. I don't have too many antique items, so I can't do too much, but yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one, and as always, please, please, please have a good rest.